Special, and Ronnie looks pretty
Thank you,
relaxed.
ladies and
He doesn't
gentlemen,
usually
first
smile like that. So
Ronnie O'Sullivan to bed.
Ronnie, who did win the toss, and he will get this quarter-final match underway. Very difficult to predict the winner of this one, John.
Yes, the boys were talking at the top of the show about the records coming into this. I think probably the main match I'd concentrate on is that Welsh Open, because Robertson was 5-2 ahead in that before Ronnie put the afterburners on to win 7 frames on the trot, which I don't think anybody in the game had win 7 frames in a trot against Robertson. And then since then, of course, the semi-final in the European Masters, and Ronnie beat him 6-0 and made 5 breaks over 60 in that match. So whether Neil will be remembering that or this is just a case of another day, we'll soon find out.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Well, he come up short there. That was interesting because the table has been absolutely flying. A very quick cloth, but this is a new cloth on, and even if it's off the same roller cloth, it'll be interesting to see if this table plays as quick. It's the same table, but if the cloth plays as fast as the previous one, we'll find out in a couple of shots' time. Good safety there from Neil. Might be able to get past the yellow and blue for that red, but looking at that angle, there's no value in taking that on because he'd be careering into the reds. If it was straight, he could have a go at it and get onto the black. Well, apparently I've just found out that just the cushion cloths have been changed. So the bed of the table will play it the way it has been. Strange why they would change the cushion cloths. They weren't really bouncing that much at all, John.
No, I suppose if anything's going to wear out quicker, it will be cloth on the cushions, of course, in the jaws of the pockets. That's probably why that's been done. But anyway, the best safety from Ronnie there, caught the bump on the middle pocket. Excellent cueing. From Neil Robertson. Looking straightforward, that.
I didn't see much of Neil's match with Ali Carter. I was on in the afternoon, but apparently he played very well.
5.
Yeah, I was chatting with Neil the other day just before he came out and played, and he was saying that scoring wise he felt like he was right back to his best. He made 13 century breaks in a little mini league thing he was playing in, so you don't do that unless you're hitting the ball properly. But one of the things you really do need to do if you're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan in what can be deemed his backyard is you need to have plenty of character. You need to stand up to it. That's where the Aussie grit comes into it.
13.
2 fabulous players. You've got the abundance of natural talent in O'Sullivan, best player I've ever seen with a cue in his hand, and then you've got the Australian with a laser-like cue action, tremendous break builder and all-round match player with that Aussie grit. Great matchup.
18.
I mean, what this player achieved in the 2013-2014 season might never be done again. To make 100 centuries in one season, that is extraordinary.
90.
Still got a red in the middle there before he has to play any cannon, so he can stun this in and leave the one there. You can see it. Like there's a couple of them is available. He's coming up a little bit short though. Might just be okay.
26.
He's having to go away from the black here. But
27.
needs to pull up a little bit. That's okay. And he could play a little cannon into the 5 reds there, because it's a thinnish one on the blue. And this could really open things up. He went delicately into the reds.
32.
Yes, nicely played, that little cannon, but got to come out a little better. Just got to play this and avoid the cannon on the red that's near the side cushion when you pot this one. She's managed to
30.
do, and already by his demeanour in this break, you can see Neil Robertson knows the importance of a good start in this match. He looks tuned up and ready to go right from the off. Started the season off pretty well, won early on and had a semi-final, and a couple of disappointing results by his own standards since then, but as I say, starting to make all those centuries in the last couple of weeks, and the hard graft he's put in over Christmas time. If he gets back to his best, he'll take some stopping. He's that good.
Yeah, I was surprised that he dropped down to number 7 in the world. He certainly, as Stephen Hendry said, should be in the top 3, you would think. But that's how tough the game is these days, and you can quite easily slip down the rankings a little bit if you have a bit of a lean spell.
Yeah, he's just taking a bit of time with this one, because it's not, you can see there, just over a minute, but he's just got to try and get the next positional shot right, because the red he was looking at, he's just got to try and, if he can get straight on this, it'll be absolutely perfect. He doesn't really want to be playing any cannons. How's he come? Well, that's
38.
not straight, so just wondering what he's going to do here. This is not straightforward. He might, yeah, I'm surprised he came up off the shot there.
Well, he didn't want to risk the delicate little cannon to hold on the black there. Just forced it in, hoping to drop nicely on pink or blue, but it's not absolutely perfect. He's got to avoid the balk colours and get back up in to the scoring end of the table.
Yeah, in and out of the balk area. I think those 2 reds that are near the black definitely pot. He couldn't have hit that much better. That was a lovely
44.
shot. Really well controlled. Looking in good nick.
Yeah, he got round on those 2 reds with the aid of a little flick on the brown here, as you can see. But you can expect this from these 2 players. I think if the other makes a mistake, the way they're playing,
51.
every chance they'll finish the frame off.
How important is it, Dennis, to stick your marker down in a match? You know, you many a time in commentary say about Steve Davis used to be brilliant winning the opening frame. It's very important just to let your opponent know you're here to play and you're at your best, and this is what Neil Robertson's doing. This is hugely
58.
impressive.
59.
Be very difficult to start with a century break, but he's almost over the winning line
66.
already in this opening frame.
67.
Have to wait for the next frame now, because Ronnie does need a snooker, regardless of what happens. He's got a chance to move either of the little sets of 2 reds there. Have to play a double if he's going to have a chance of a century. Back double, but the frame is well and truly in the bag. Just checking that, looking at the scoreboard. So you might as well have a go at the double.
Robertson, 74.
Well, no century break, but what a start from the Australian. He got one chance and that was all he needed. And that lovely break has given him the opening frame. It's 1-0 to Neil Robertson. Well, John, you can't do better than get a chance and make enough to win the frame off.
No, that was very impressive. He is the consummate match player, is Neil Robertson. As I say, slightly surprising where he's been for a few tournaments, because as I say, I rate him as highly as the boys were saying at the start. You know, for me, he's definitely a top 3 player of that all day long.
Just look at the focus on his face there. You can tell he's really tuned in for this one. And Ronnie just made a slight error, and that was all it took. This was the one. Just doubled the red. Well, he was a bit unlucky to catch the jaw and leave the red over the corner. It wasn't right over the corner. It was a good opening pot jaw.
We mentioned how good his cue action is. This is right through it. It's a lot more difficult than it looks on the screen, but beautifully struck. And as you say, the rest is history.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Second frame. Neil Robertson to break.
Well, that's a pity. The break-off shot is just put a red right next to the black and put it out of commission. Either player would have liked to have seen that. It just means that Ronnie can't take this red on to the left corner because there's no colour available. Touching ball would help.
Touching ball. Touching, yeah.
Leander has declared touching ball. Can you believe it, John? It's 25 years since Jan Verhaest came on the scene as a referee.
Yeah, one of the very best, and a lovely man. We've all got older together.
Could be touching again.
Touching ball.
And it is. Ronnie might as well just stay where he is because he's going back into a similar position.
Sorry.
This time Ronnie can play it back down the table. You can see the edge of the pack there. Ronnie's good friend Damien Hirst, the renowned artist. He didn't think he'd be back today because he thought Liang Wenbo would have potted the black and knocked Ronnie out. Missed a very easy black to knock the 6 times former champion out.
Foul.
Doesn't want to leave a free
Miss.
ball here.
Neil Robertson, 5.
And he hasn't, but he's left a long pot on. I wonder how Neil will take this. Will he go around the back of the... I'll just show you again. He just caught the blue. But Neil can play around on the blue, or he could play it to nudge the red away from the black.
Well, it was the first time in a while I've seen him cue across the ball there. Usually a feature of Neil's cue action that it goes straight through. But definitely hit across that one. And first scoring opportunity for Ronnie. Not a great chance, obviously, but he usually manages to find a way around these things.
Three.
Yeah, this could develop the pink and reds because the black's tied up at the moment also. So how hard will he hit this? Oh, might just be able to get through.
No.
It's tight though. It's very tight. In fact, I don't think he can get through to it. Bit unlucky there with the split.
Yeah, it wasn't totally ideal on the blue. He couldn't get loads of power into that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, no.
But he'd be very disappointed if he doesn't cover it. Not red with the blue. He's only playing to leave the red there.
Just caught the pink half ball. Full ball contact would have been better, but he was still a bit unlucky there.
Difficult thing for Neil here, of course. He's playing off the side of the pack here, but obviously that red on the left hand side is the one he's got to keep covered. So cue ball virtually in the same place he played from should be ideal. Well, he hasn't done that. And if Ronnie can pot this red and manage to get the cue ball out, then it's a chance.
He could finish on the pink here if he hits the reds. Quick glance at the pink, can't get through to that, but the main part of that shot was potting the red. It's a medium length blue, normally very reliable with this type of shot, but he hasn't had much table time.
Right the way through it, beautifully struck.
Seven.
It's not a brilliant chance this, the way the balls are positioned. Obviously the black is out of commission, the pink's going to get tied up back on its spot, it looks like.
Is there enough room? That's the ball marker that will tell the referee whether it spots, and there is enough room. And as John mentioned, the pink now tied up, so he'll have
30.
to play up for the blue. He had a look to see if the pink would go into the left corner, but we find out the way he plays the positional side of the shot, if it pots or not. Well, it does.
14.
The pink does pass that red by the looks of things. Well, maybe not. Otherwise he would have played it. He did look at it, so Ronnie would have known whether the pink would go, but once this red's removed, it could develop it. No way that pink would go there.
can't quite get the position he likes at the moment. He's just slightly off with each shot, and of course the bump there doesn't help because it actually puts him straight on the blue. Might have been top side. So another good medium range pot to screw back and back for the blue again.
25.
The white might go close to the left middle pocket. He'll have to be careful here.
Really well struck, and the best thing there is with the position you'll see there's 3 reds below the pink, 2 of the bottom ones definitely pop now, so he's got an area to play in there straight away. That's where he is.
31.
Well, there didn't look to be many points available to him when he came to the table. The balls were all tied up. He's making a terrific job of this. Always nice to see the big breaks going in when they're all sitting nicely.
36.
When you see them having to work hard like this, it's very skillful
37.
indeed. Now if he's straight, now he's got a slight angle, so he can force this in.
And I think both the reds might pot, one next to the pink and the one below it may do so. Hasn't he taken these well? I mean, the table when he first came to it
42.
wasn't brilliant, but so far this has been superb.
43.
Both players in good nick, Dennis.
And that's what everybody wanted, this packed house at the Alexander Palace and everyone watching at home. We just wanted to see both these players playing well, and it looks as if we're going to see that. There's always
50.
something a bit special about England playing Australia at any sport.
On, lead is 60, so just make sure of this red.
57.
Wonderful break this. Many players I can think of would have come to the table and won the frame from this visit, but O'Sullivan has. Absolutely brilliant break.
63.
Neil's having a look.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 63.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan has returned the compliment. He got one chance and he made enough to win the frame. Great stuff. One each.
Fast start, great start, 10 and 11 framers. And actually, we were talking about Neil Robertson's win there in the first frame. That was his first frame he's taken off Ronnie since February last year. He's actually lost the last 13 in a row.
Oh.
So a bit of a relief from his perspective, I'm sure, Steve.
Yeah, a fantastic start from both players. But already such a noticeable difference in Ronnie from his first round. He knows he's playing one of the best players in the world today, and he looks completely focused. In his first round against Wembo, he just didn't look like he was even wanting to be there in some points of that match. But this is the quality you would expect from two of the best players in the world.
In fairness, they both look up for this.
He does, but what a fantastic break there from Ronnie. I mean, he was up and down the table. When he came to the table, it didn't look like he was going to win the frame from that visit, just to get a few points to get his arm going. But he was up and down the table, brought the pink into play, in and out of ball. Fantastic example of potting and break building and keeping the cue ball on a string.
It's brisk and it's brilliant so far.
I like that, Hazel. It's brisk and it's brilliant. But that's not a brilliant break-off shot from Ronnie, although I suppose he's got away with it a little bit. Mishit that completely, went down the wrong side of the blue, so just hit it far too thin. You don't see this very often.
out. Quite an attacking safety that was.
What a terrific return from the Australian. I think it's going to play a key part in this match. The safety and tactical side of the game. It's who puts in the better safety shot that's going to create the better chances.
Yes, he can just sneak past the yellow, I think, for the bottom red. He's double checking on that. Or is it tight? That's maybe why he's having a look at this end of the table, but he's thinking about leaving the cue ball up this end. If he's taking this amount of time about it, it's obviously some degree of difficulty.
Yeah, the white's close. Very good safety shots from both players here, John.
About to say, Dennis, last 3 shots all absolutely top class. You're going to need another one. That path is blocked off now. The one can't clip off the one that was near the side of the pink, so that's gone. I mean, the perfect world, Neil would like to be play off the red you can see there and go off the side cushion and just dump the cue ball on the top rail, but he can't do that either. Can't see the right side of it. Problem this.
He'll try to find the safety shot. There's a potable red, the one that's closest to the black, but if you missed that you'd leave all sorts. So can he find the correct spot this end of the table? That's pretty good.
Sometimes you're just in that much trouble that you have to play what they call a containing shot and just stand for it. He played it well, got himself out of trouble.
He's got to get this right. He wants to cover the one that's near the left corner pocket, and he's judged that to perfection. To get a good length in the cue ball, he had to come up short with a potter like me, Robertson. He would have taken that on, but you can't pot them if you can't see them.
No, it's the old adage you used to say, didn't it? Chess with balls, isn't it? It's certainly chess at the moment. That's 4 or 5 shots, all been top class, all trying to put the opponent in the maximum amount of trouble.
Yeah, and I think there's an awful lot of people that watch snooker that like to see this type of game, as well as seeing the frame-winning breaks going in.
He's just trying to drop dead weight on a red on the top cushion, is he? Or, well, he hasn't judged that how he wanted it. That's a big mistake. Very close at all to what he was doing.
Good opening red, but pink and black tied up. But after the break we seen in the previous frame, that break of 63 from nowhere, absolutely nothing on. And if few shots time, he may have that pink and black in play.
Funny enough, he didn't hit that one very well at all. Just about sneaked in off the right-hand jaw there. That's not how he played it. It's just a bit too close for comfort, missing that one. So change your plan with his positional play.
He's got to find the gap to get round for the blue here.
He's not made his mind up yet to what shot he's playing here. He'll be very disappointed with this contribution here. Had a table at his mercy after the first red that he knocked in. He at least manages to sort it out, Dennis, doesn't he?
I think it's a little bit of a bonus that he can just get through to the blue, otherwise he was in a bit of a hole there.
Blue ball. Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
Beautifully, and where the cue ball's finished might be ideal. Okay, they're far from easy along the top cushion like that, but the fact he's got an angle, you can see the long pot straight in the middle of the pocket. Can he force an angle out from the green up the table? The scoring opportunity is yours.
He needs to get somewhere, well, anywhere near the circle would leave him a red if he can force the angle. He's okay, he's coming on past it. There's another couple of reds available, I think.
Yeah, it was even better than I thought, Dennis. It wasn't even a shot he had to force it. It was a perfect angle where he finished. So there was no problem there getting back down the table. So Ronnie had a first look at these reds and colours. What can Neil Robertson make from them?
See if he screws back off that one that's almost straight. He could catch the other red and go.
His situation not ideal on either of them. When he's come down the table, he must have thought, "Oh, it'll be perfect here. Got to be on something." Well, he is, but it's just requires a bit more positional play. And it's his turn to make. I don't know what that shot was, but it wasn't one.
He needs a thin one here to avoid the middle pocket.
Mass positionally. Making too much of a positional error with the way the balls are now. These are spread absolutely beautifully. So a big break will be in the offing if you can get the chance.
There's a couple of routes back down the table for Ronnie. If you can see the one on the right side of the table, you can thin one off that, but I prefer the other one, the left side of the table, to double it back towards the black, and the white will head back up past the yellow and blue. Just depends how he feels. So he's going for the thin one, the right side of the table. this could be a nice flick.
Yeah, he's extremely adept at that shot, Ronnie, the thin clip. Watch him when he practices, he does quite a bit of that as a routine when he plays those shots. Just to get the very edge. Hit the red, but no great pace on the cue ball there. I think he'll play the pot on this. No. It was a very thin clip and he didn't fancy playing the pot there, Ronnie, so I agree with Stephen Hendry. He said in the studio he's fully focused today. Ultimate respect for his opponent there. Didn't take any liberties with that shot.
It's amazing. The first frame lasted just over 10 minutes. The second frame just over 11 minutes. We're coming up to nearly 14 minutes and there's still plenty of reds left on the table. It's just the nature of how this frame has panned out. And it's still very entertaining to watch, to see who is going to make the first mistake in this safety exchange. That's the first mistake.
And you know what, Dennis, even though you're as good as O'Sullivan, that's your reward for the last shot. Because, as I mentioned, he could have played a thin clip on a pot there. He refused it, he played the safety. And this is his reward for it. Always looking like trouble, that shot, wasn't it?
He nearly actually fluked the red there in the middle. But still, he's tight on the cushion, so needs a good shot to get nicely on the colour here.
One.
And the only thing with potting the black, it looks as if it may tie the black up, but the pink's in the open. Win this frame with just potting reds and pinks, believe it or not, because the black's out of commission.
8. But
there's let's see, 4, there's 5 reds nicely placed where he could keep staying on the pink.
Nine.
And it's lovely to watch when you play these little stun and screw shots.
15.
It's the secret of break building.
16. $22. 23.
It's going back to that situation, how he got the opportunity. Okay, we wax lyrical about how good Ronnie is in amongst the balls and his break building, but that safety exchange from the both players, it was Ronnie who forced that mistake from Neil, and it was safety of the highest quality.
29.
I love to see him play when he's fully focused, I really do. It's not great to play against with any other chair, but
30.
when you watch him and he's in there and he's fully focused on what he's doing and the concentration levels are there and he wants to win the match, he's very special to watch.
36. 37.
He's done well here. He's had 4 pinks. This is the 5th pink coming up. It's getting more difficult now. And he's playing into a gap there, and that's judged to perfection.
33.
So he's going to need
44.
one more of the difficult reds, and if he's got a nice angle on the pink, he might be able to get on one. Just the one more that's available, and that's all he'll need.
50.
51 ahead. That's 52 ahead with 51 remaining. Fascinating frame. Love the tactical play from both players.
Well, once again, though, an absolutely wonderful break. I mean, frame 2, the 63 was wonderfully constructed. This is the pink.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 51.
And the fact that that pink came down and just made a little channel on the black has opened up the 2 reds, so Neil will definitely be carrying on.
Little lapse in concentration. He thought he was over the winning line. And he had potted that red. Neil would have stayed in his seat. Or the pink, rather. It's so easy to do that. You think you've won the frame and you just have a little lapse in concentration.
There's the shot Ronnie played, misses the pink, comes down, okay,
7.
He's missed it, but watch what happens here. Just flicks the black out of the way and puts the 2 reds in play.
8.
And because of that, he may have given himself a headache for the rest of this frame.
Well, you can see where he wants to put the cue ball so that he can send the red around the angles towards the green and get the snooker in behind the black when it comes back onto its spot. So this frame is far from over. And I know it's the best of 11, and we're only in frame 3, but this could prove to be
15.
quite a turning point, this frame, John.
Yeah, as ever, we always say it in the game, Dennis, it's not always winning the frames you should win, it's nicking ones you shouldn't. And if Neil Robertson could win this frame against what's happened in the frame, a brilliant 51 from O'Sullivan, if he can win this game and nick it, what a boost of confidence that'd be. Oh, Neil, that's a shocker.
Neil Robertson, 15.
I can't believe that. That is not like him at all.
It's what you call quitting on the shot. He never delivered the cue through. I mean, he was hoping to be in behind the black and send the red away up towards the green. He walked away in disgust. And there's another nice little flick. He's getting a round of applause. He missed the pot by a mile there. It's a trick shot, but the swerve never took.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4. Yeah.
Still only 2 snookers needed. He was quite fortunate there, Ronnie, to miss the pot by such a long way and fluke the snooker.
Oh, you're dead right, but it always seems to be the way, doesn't it? When you've been given an opportunity like Neil was and you miss that chance, the balls don't tend to forgive you for that. And that was a really good chance to get a snooker. There's another one.
Neil feels that he can just sneak this one.
Yes, excellent shot, Ronnie's just got to play a little swerve here. Just be careful. Just got to make sure you get the swerve on, coming on late. You can see it just as it got past the pink, it turned there. And Neil's decided he's going to knock the red in and the black and take his chances, adjust the colours on the table.
And the brown's not very good, is it?
Eight.
Looking at the scoreboard, even if he was to pop
10.
the green and the brown, he would still need two snookers. Sometimes if you get to the blue, you might only need the one snooker. That's not the case here. He'll start looking for the snookers
13.
now, and there's a chance he can get up behind the black here. If he comes off the brown with a little bit of left-hand side, he can send that white off the side cushion up behind the black. Has he hit it hard enough?
Neil Robertson,
Let's hit
13.
that one again.
Yeah, once again, not like him. He's not just a little bit out with that one as well. He's quite away. That was a chance.
See, if he could get a chance to pot the brown and blue, he might take it, because then he could tie with one snooker. He had a quick glance at the scoreboard and he'd worked that out, had Neil.
Yeah, I thought about that myself, Dennis, but if he didn't do it the first time, when he had the chance with the brown before, I don't know when he's going to do it now. So, one good long pot should be the end of this frame.
I think Ronnie, he's probably thinking to himself, what am I doing here? This frame should have been over about 7 minutes ago. That's a snooker. I think he can get enough side to miss the black and swing it and hit the brown. Oh, only just. Yeah, I mean, Ronnie, he thought he'd won the frame, and normally wouldn't miss this type of shot because Neil would have stayed in his seat had that pink and gone in. And this brown is close. Now will Neil think about potting the brown and blue? Can he see the brown to pot it? He can.
I mean, it's a possibility, but you know what it's like, Dennis, isn't it? If you can virtually guarantee you're going to get the snooker off the pink and black, you generally get one good shot at it, don't you? And if you don't get it the first time, certainly the standard we're playing at, most of the players are pretty adept at keeping the pink away from the black and making it more difficult. So, you know, putting your eggs in one basket.
Neil Robertson there.
He played to pot the blue and missed it. I think he was just thinking about where he was leaving the cue ball to give himself a chance of the snooker. So can Ronnie finish the frame off? Doesn't matter about the pink. We won't see many frames last as long as this one, coming up to 29 minutes. Some brilliant tactical play at the beginning of that frame, but Ronnie made that superb break of 51, and that paved the way for him to lead 2 frames to 1.
Yeah, nearly 29-minute frame, that a real contrast at the start of the match. And there was one safety shot, a very interesting safety exchange, but in the battle to gain control. One shot in particular that showed a lot of patience from Ronnie.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie has a pot on here to the left corner, but he refuses that. The positional side of the shot is not great, but he chooses to refuse that and plays an excellent safety shot, which consequently let him in for 51. But it almost shows, the safety exchanges almost show more than the breaks, how someone's appetite for winning the matches, because you're determined to keep getting the upper hand in the safety exchange. Ronnie Solomon is always going to make breaks, no matter how bad he's playing. He's all, because that's bread and butter. But to his determination to win that safety exchange shows how much he's up for it.
Yeah, actually, John Parrott did make mention of how focused he looked. Do you sense that in him today?
Absolutely, yeah. And as Stephen said, sometimes he's very underestimated for how good a safety player Neil is. And at the earlier part of that frame, there was some great safety exchanges, and it was like cat and mouse between the two players who was going to force the opening. And it's so clever about that shot, not only refusing the red, but where the position of where he put the cue ball. He had Neil in all sorts of position over the left-hand side of the table, which would make it even more difficult to get back the ball, force the opportunity.
He never plays a safety shot playing ball, does he, Ronnie? Never ever see him playing like a plain ball up and down. He's always manoeuvring the cue ball, putting some sort of side in the cue ball to manoeuvre it to get to where the position that is the most difficult part. Sometimes you look and you say, well, where do I not want to play the shot from? And that's where he'll put it.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. And actually, there were a couple of shots in there he played left-handed as well. And Ken, you made the point that they're almost interchangeable now. You hardly even notice he's doing it. It's extraordinary.
And I just said to Stephen, I don't know how he does it, because we both tried to play left-handed. You know, I look like complete fools trying to do it. But he does it so naturally, and people take it for granted now. And even when he does it, there's no ripple of applause anymore, because they think, oh well, it's just Ronnie O'Sullivan. You know.
Back we go. This is the last before the interval.
Pretty good length with the break-off shot, but Ronnie may attempt a long red into the left corner. It's the only one he would leave, and he'd be on the black. I've seen Barry Hawkins knock 2 or 3 of these in at the start of his match. Yeah, when he beat Sean Murphy last evening, 6 frames to 1. That was a surprise to everyone. Not a surprise to Barry, though, although Sean had beaten him 8 out of the 9 times they played. Dead straight the red.
Yeah, very difficult shots those, and of course the one thing you're hoping you don't do is get the double kiss, so you managed to miss that one. Yeah, it's interesting the boys were talking about Ronnie playing his safety shots with the side. It's likes to swing the cue ball around. I think it's actually in some ways a little bit easier to judge than just playing plain ball. Just playing plain ball and taking the cue ball up and down the table is difficult to get the absolute pace right, where sometimes playing round angles and using a bit of side, you can more or less guarantee you get closer to the cushion. So that's why he does a lot of it. I watched him practice quite a bit, and trust me, he puts plenty of time in on his safety play as well.
Well, he's got away with that. He made a complete mess. He's confused. Well, you see him egging himself on there. He said, come on. I mean, he just hit that far too thick. But this will cut back. Giving himself a bit of a telling off there.
And the funny thing is, we were talking about him using the side there. That's the one downside of it. Sometimes you just push the cue ball in a little thicker, and that's what happened there. Not like him. So big frame for Neil Robertson to try and level going into the interval.
Yeah, he might play for the blue here, get it back on its spot. The pink's tied up, the black's off its spot. He can pop this red into the left corner and finish nicely on the blue, get it back on its spot. That will certainly help things. And if he's got a good enough angle, he could even play into the pink and reds. Although having said that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to play for the red that's near the black spot. So it's just how he's feeling, but he seems to have enough angle to do what he wants with this. So it's into the pink and reds, and it's misjudged. That was a wide target.
Yeah.
10.
Okay, he could have hit them and it could have gone right by. I actually thought he would play with the loose reds there, Dennis. There's a few of them available. There you go. Live and die by your decisions. But he'd be disappointed
Neil Robertson, 10.
from where he was on the blue not to have scored more points.
Well, it showed you when Ronnie went back to his seat how annoyed he was. He was expecting Neil to make a few more, so he hasn't been punished. See, I like that safety shot. That's brought the pink into play. Okay, he didn't want to cannon the green, but that's opened the game up.
Not his best though, and he might be in a bit of trouble here if Neil Robertson can get behind the green. That's what he's trying for. But his safety's just a little bit off today. It doesn't take much. I was good at the start of the other frame, I know, but just certainly when he's been laying snookers or today and attempted, he's just been a little bit off with his pace. Not massively so, but just enough to be magnified in this company.
Beauty. Look at the safety success rate, 92%, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's got to get this right. And he has. Pinpoint accuracy there, because he could have left one for the left corner, one for the middle.
Yes, and it's not touching ball, so it's awkward to get back down to the balk area. There might be a bit of tapping going on here. Can't see what else he can do.
Is that a tap or a tip? You know, the tip tapping we said. I'm not sure what that was, but it has finished awkward here.